What is going on, Emerald? Back again with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Washington Nationals. Now, the Washington Nationals really haven't had a good season since they won the World Series in 2019, and they're definitely looking to get back on form. We can take a look at the last 5 seasons of this team, and once again, it hasn't really been great. The last 2 seasons, they have gone 71 and 91, so pretty consistent right there. And they did end up getting 4th in their division because Miami was worse than them. I feel like it's their time to kind of turn it around, which I think we're going to see shortly from the Nationals. They really had their best season in 2019, winning their first World Series, right? Definitely going to be an interesting time to turn this team around. So let's take a look at their top prospects because they have a lot of them right here, but they only have a couple guys to call up in 2025. So we're going to start with Dylan Cruz, right? He's the #1 guy in the organization. He played 31 games with the Nationals last year, only batted at 218. Wasn't really the best over there. In the minors, he played a lot better, obviously 270 in 2024. That was really good. He played 100 games in the minors in 2024. I am mentioning Dylan Cruz because he's going to have a full season with the Nationals now, so it's going to be very exciting to see actually how good he is. Hopefully he can get back to form and get back to playing a good season. The next one we're going to talk about is at number 3, which is Brady House, who's been in the minors for a decent amount of time. 2025 is his ETA, which is very exciting. He did play in AAA. He batted at 250 in 54 games. Once again, he's probably going to get that up before he actually makes the MLB team, but he's also a third baseman, so that can definitely help that position out a ton. And we've had good MLB The Show cards of Brady House before. I've seen him play a lot. Like, I'm very confident he's going to be a good player when he gets to the league. Yeah, very excited about him. I feel like he's definitely got to improve in AAA a little bit before they actually call him up to the big leagues, but definitely exciting to have him come up very soon. And the last player they have is the ETA 2025 is Morales, who's a first and third baseman. Currently in AA right now. Obviously played extremely well in those 6 single-A games. AA batted about a 269 in 69 games. He definitely played pretty well, and you know, he's pretty much almost at a hit per game, which is definitely good to think about on that side. But he's also ETA 2025 first and third baseman. I don't know where he's gonna play because they just got Nathan Lau from the Rangers, and Brady House will probably play third, so we'll kind of wait to see where he plays if he does get the call up this year. Yeah, we'll see how he does moving forward in double and AAA and then the big leagues, but he's another one to look at as well. And then once again, we'll kind of just take a look at the rest of the prospects. There's a couple of players that are going to get called up in 2025 as well. We can see the 11, 12, and 13th guys, all ETA 2025. We can see number 19 is ETA 2025. We have 25 ETA 2025, and then 27 and 30 ETA 2025. A lot of pitchers, a lot of hitters as well, which is going to be very good for this team. So definitely exciting about those prospects. Let's take a look at the contracts now. And once again, we're going to be using both sites once again, just because best view of getting these full contract situations that we have. Taking a look at 2025 for the Nationals, they still have Ruiz on that massive extension. They signed him 8 years, $50 million was this contract. They obviously got Nathan Lau for the first time, who's going to make around $10.7 million is what the rumored is right now. And then they got pretty much everyone else in arbitration for the most part. It's going to be very interesting to see where they go. And they also still got to play Steven Strasburg $35 million for the next 2 seasons since he retired. So once again, with this all set up, they think it's going to be around $78.5 million. But obviously move more than that. It's going to be the first time in a while that all teams are above $100 million, which will kind of be exciting. On Sport Tech, this is kind of what they have on here. And they have Will Harris on here as well. They don't have him on Baseball Reference, making about $8 million a year. They also don't have the Mike Soroka contract in there as well. He's making around $9 million a year. And I think they have some of these guys as arbitration. I'm not totally sure, but then you have the rest of the contracts like they're all the way down. Those are kind of some of the contracts the Nationals are going with into the 2025 season. Once again, they haven't really made like a crazy splash yet either. This is kind of who they have. Taking a look at this current roster of the Nationals, we already got kind of the 5 guys right here in the starting rotation, with obviously Michael Soroka being the new addition to the team. They still got DJ Hertz here, and Gore is still here, and all the other guys. Obviously, Patrick Corbin is no longer on the team anymore. His contract did expire, so you got all these guys ready to go, you know, obviously replacing him. And the bullpen, they only got 6 guys in the bullpen, so definitely gonna have to rebuild this a little bit. We'll kind of see what they go in the future of this offseason and into the season. Only have 6 players, so definitely gonna want to expand that a little bit more. And then take a look at the starting 9. We already know Reyes is gonna be the catcher. That's what he's signed to do, right? Nathan Lowe is gonna play first base. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. And then we look at second, third, and short, which I feel like are kind of wide open for any of these guys. There's a lot of players that could play these positions in this team, so we're gonna have to wait to see who actually gets these spots. Obviously, I think Garcia played second last year on this team. Not sure who played third. And CJ Abrams isn't on here, even though he's on the contract, so not really sure where he's at the depth chart, because CJ Abrams isn't a free agent until 2029, so not really sure where he's at on this depth chart, but he would probably play shortstop. And then the outfield's pretty stacked with James Wood playing left field, Dylan Cruz in center field, and then right field you can kind of have any of these options, right? Then you also got the DH to talk about as well, so a lot of different spots the Nationals could go with this starting 9. Yeah, not a bad starting 9 for the Nationals. If we take a look at the attendance for this team, they currently rank 22nd in attendance out of 30 teams. They almost hit 2 million attendance on the year of people coming to the game. They average about 24,000, which, you know, isn't horrible, but it's still not up to par. I'd say almost every team is almost at the 28 to 35 45,000 mark is pretty much the average, I feel like, for the league. Like, there's a couple outliers like the Dodgers at 48 and then the A's at 11, right? There's definitely outliers, but I feel like the league average is around like 35 to like 28. They're a little bit under the mark, but they are close to a lot of teams around them, you know, with the Twins and the Tigers, the Reds, Guardians, right? They're pretty close to some of those teams. Plus, they obviously were a pretty bad team, so seeing them this high up there is still pretty good in my opinion. Yeah, overall attendance, not horrible. And then moving on to the MLB 2025 draft. Obviously, the Nationals got lucky and got the first round pick in the draft lottery, so that's very exciting for the organization. Definitely gonna get a good player right here. We'll see who they pick. There's a lot of good players that they could get that's already in this draft class. So the Nationals definitely gonna be excited to get that first round pick. I'm pretty sure they were 3rd or 4th in the lottery when they actually had the percentages and all that stuff. So definitely looking to get the first round pick. Pretty much from there, the Nationals have a pretty normal draft. They don't really have any other picks. They got no prospect picks, no compensation picks, no competitive balance picks. And they're always gonna have the 6th pick in the round. So second round, they got the 6th pick, right? We move through, no competitive balance B, no compensation picks here. 3rd round pick is at number 5. Then once again, no compensation picks. Then they go to 6th once again in the 4th round. Once again, no compensation picks. And they go to the 6th pick in the 5th round. And then with the remaining of other 15 rounds, they're going to be picking at number 6 in those rounds. So they have pretty much the normal 20 picks in the draft now. So nothing crazy for the Nationals, but the number 1 pick is definitely going to be exciting for them. That's going to be the big one for them to focus on. But looking at the Nationals in a whole, going into my prediction on the Washington Nationals in the 2025 season, they got 71 and 91 the last 2 seasons, right? So I feel like they got to raise that if they want to get some good players. I feel like the players that they have right now, they're not horrible, but they do need to shine more when they play. Like we need some of those star performances from kind of the prospects they've been calling up, and some of the prospects they're gonna call up, you know, in this season and in the future. And I feel like if they can get above 71 wins, then they could have got a good shot of signing some good free agents, actually having some good talent, because they've shown they really have not been that bad. They've been a competitive team, you know, these past 2 seasons. Because in my opinion, I think if you're at least above 70 wins, I feel like you can be competitive. Because let's think about it, the Nationals are only 10 games up, you know, below 500, so you know that's still competitive in my opinion. But they definitely need to get better than this if they want to sign some good free agents and if they want to improve. I feel like the max the Nationals could probably get if they play their best, probably 75 to 79 wins in my opinion. I feel like they're not going to be insanely good, but I feel like that's the max they could do. Now, do I think they actually do that? Probably not. I feel like they're going to be around the same they were last year, to be honest. Maybe 72 to like 70 wins is my prediction on this team and where I can see them. But I have their ceiling at like 79 wins for sure, but somewhere in that 70 mark. But what's your guys' thoughts on this Washington Nationals team moving forward? Obviously, since the World Series, it's kind of been downhill. They haven't really looked the best, but what's your guys' thoughts about this team moving forward? But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.